Welcome to the podcast of the Tutty Buddies. There are two of them and their producer. That is me, Knox. Welcome to the Tutty Buddy NFL show.
That was great, Knox. Thank you so much. As producer Knox with almost like a little, like a rap, like put some music beneath that. It'd be kind of like a cool rap.
Yeah, there was things in there that were frankly a little bit confusing. Maybe if you're a new listener, but I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like to keep you on your toes. We're the Tutty Buddy NFL show.
Yeah.
We talk football. We're two buddies.
Two buddies.
With our third buddy, producer Knox.
Yeah. And I guess, would you like to introduce yourself? Who are you?
I'm Andrew. I am a co-host of the Tutty Buddy show.
Yeah. My name is Nikolai. I am also a co-host of the Tutty Buddy NFL show.
So it's been a minute.
It's been a long, like maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's been about 2 minutes. So I feel like I'm a different person now.
Yeah.
How do you feel different?
Yeah.
I, myself, have held a gator since you've seen me.
That's a good point. You kind of honorary Florida boy.
Yep.
Now.
Orlando.
I went to San Diego Comic-Con International, which I have done now. We did the math. This was my 28th year going.
Listen,
that's a lot.
That's crazy.
It made me feel actually like really old. I kind of had like a weird crisis of like, that's what I thought my age was, but it's not.
Yeah, so has your dad, has he gone more than that before you were born, or is he about the same?
He went maybe one time, like 20 years before
Eons
we
ago.
Started going.
Yeah.
So you've been to Comic-Con ever since you were 7.
Well,
some quick math, and we don't like to divulge that. So hopefully, producer Knox was a little bit far away.
Yeah, maybe they couldn't hear that because I don't want to.
Because like we've said, we were younger than Matt Stafford.
Younger than Matt Stafford, older than Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy and Baker.
Yeah, and probably Baker. Almost definitely Baker. Okay, so I want to hear. You want to give a quick kind of how's it been going? Recap. Like you held a gator.
I held a gator.
What was that experience for you? How was that?
One thing that was kind of interesting is as I was holding the gator,
sure,
I found that like if I used my thumb and kind of pet behind his ear, he just put his head up, and he was very relaxed and happy. So
that's really nice.
Pro tip.
So if you're ever have a run-in with a gator, just give them a nice little rub behind their little ear thing.
Well, I guess. I mean, I say ear.
Yeah, they don't have that.
I guess I'll just say their neck.
Yeah. Yeah. They have like a little thing, I think, that is like an ear.
I mean, they got to hear.
Yeah. Not
one
deaf.
thing
not
on my flight back.
Yeah.
Sat next to a lovely young couple.
Oh.
They're both nurses.
Wow.
They were coming into town for like a convention. And I just saw they're going to a Padre game.
Good for them.
And I was like, oh, you got to get Mexican food. Go to Lolita's.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, we'll go. That sounds great. Man, I got back, and this shows how little I've been to a Padre game or like downtown.
Sure.
It's been closed for like 2 years.
Yeah, well.
So I feel bad. They were like so nice.
They'll figure it out. There's plenty of Mexican food down there.
I hope.
I'll tell you a story about a Padre game. And by a story, I mean I'll say one sentence about it.
Yeah.
Last one we went to, it's so expensive now. We accidentally spent $400.
Oh my gosh!
Like we kind of were buying drinks and food without paying attention to exactly how much it was costing.
Yeah.
And then we got the next day we looked and we didn't even get that crazy, and it was $400 in the hole.
That's not right. Okay, MLB needs to change. I don't even want to talk about it because we're the NFL Tutty Buddy show.
There's kind of a reason that we're an NFL show, not an MLB show.
Yeah. See, I mean, I didn't know that a restaurant was closed for 2 years. Yeah. Petco Park is great, but hey, if you want to be able to pay your bills, don't go there.
Exactly.
So guess what?
What?
Preseason football's here.
I want to hear, because, full disclosure, I haven't watched a lick of it. Then there has been, obviously, the Hall of Fame game was the first game.
I didn't watch a lick of that.
Okay. And then last night was the Thursday night games.
Yeah.
Was there multiple?
I mean, they weren't even like branded or marketed as Thursday night. It was just like it just happened to be on a Thursday.
Yeah, here's some NFL.
Yeah.
I will say, actually, I want to get this take out there. The reason I didn't watch, it's not because, the Olympics are on or some other good reason. It's because I don't like preseason football. I don't love football, so that's a real statement to make.
It was hard for me to watch it as well.
Yeah, it's okay. Take your time. You got emotional.
Yeah.
On a football podcast.
I know, but it's just different. It's not real football, but stars can be born in the preseason.
That's true. Every once in a while, you'll watch a game and go, wow, this guy's really, really making a name for himself out here, and he might be the third backup on the team.
You know what?
That's the part that kind of is comical to me, because like the people that you're watching in the in the preseason, especially the first preseason game, are like guys that most likely are going to get cut, like a third of them probably.
Yeah.
And then the other guys are like fighting for those like
the backup spots.
So,
well, I mean, I think you see some of the starters on the drive or two, a series or two. And in the New England Patriots game, I thought it was interesting because the defense looks the same in a good way. Like, good, if not great.
Sure.
From the first snap to the last snap, you know, like, meaning every player on that roster right now looked like it was like bought into that defensive culture.
Okay, well, let's talk this then. I believe if my memory serves, when we projected what the records were for each team this year, you had said that the Patriots might win 4 games total.
I still will say that.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that had changed your mind at all.
The offense has no identity, but
yeah,
I believe a star was born last night.
And who's that?
Joe Milton.
And what does he do?
Quarterback.
Really?
So he will probably be third string.
Okay.
He's a rookie. I think he was like 5th round out of Tennessee.
Okay.
But dude, he's like 6'5", 250.
Kind of a prototype.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll tell you this, man, watching the game, it was clear that the Patriot fans want that to be their quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah. He looks kind of like Cam Newton with a better arm, in my opinion.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Like Lamar Jackson-esque, getting out of the pocket and being sneaky quick. But he threw a beautiful touchdown. And Drake May looked okay. He only played 1 series.
Okay.
Brissett is Brissett. I don't, like, if I'm Gerard Mayo, I think I'm thinking long and hard about letting Milton be at least in the preseason. Like, see what you got with Milton and May. Brissett, you know what you got.
Yeah, I think that, man, this is all news to me, and I kind of feel bad for Drake May, just because I always, with these guys that come in with huge expectations, and I think, you know, getting drafted as high as he did, he's gonna have those expectations. But everyone knew coming in that he was going to be kind of a time investment. Like he's not ready,
right?
And so to then have a guy drafted behind you start to look good must be a very a scary place to be. And I know also if you're coming at it from the other side, from the ownership side, they're going to want Drake May to be their guy.
Right. And that's what I'm a little bit afraid of, though. Like, if you have someone better.
Yeah.
And think about their offense. Like, is a pocket passer the right choice right now with no weapons? Probably not. Like, you need someone to have playmaker ability.
Yeah, be able to create a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't know. If I'm Gerard Mayo, man, I'm thinking Brissett just be like a assistant coach. Let's see what the young guys can do.
Yeah, I think especially for preseason, like Brissett doesn't need preseason. He's had I don't know, he's been in the league for 18 years or whatever it feels like, and he's solid. Like he's going to be fine. So knowing what you have in your backups, quote unquote, for this year is a big deal.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. If you know that your team's not going to be playoff bound, pretty much. We know that, right?
Yeah, I think that's safe.
Why waste Brissett's time?
Yeah.
Why not see what you got with these young guys? Like week 1, just
let them out there.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, yeah, sure, Drake might look terrible, but
I think
who cares?
Just from what I'm hearing from listening to other stuff, it sounds like everyone thinks that the Patriots are at least going to do better than what we think.
They're wrong.
I think they feel like they potentially are a wild card team. because of their defense. And I don't agree with that, but I think that's where people's heads are at.
I'll say this. If they start Joe Milton, they might be a wild card team. If they start Drake May, probably not. If they start Brissett, definitely not.
Big Joe Milton's kind of staying over here. I like that a lot.
Man. He's so talented. You got to watch some videos of him. He's so talented.
Yeah.
And his touchdown, he looked off the safety.
Okay.
His receiver on the left did a double move, and he hit him just beautifully.
Yeah.
And hey, looking at the sideline, dude, that is not a Drake May team. Yeah. That's either a Brissett team or a Milton team. It's not a Drake May team.
That's really interesting. I mean, I love the drama. I'm into it. What were your thoughts on any other teams? Did you watch, was it Patriots Panthers that you watched?
Yeah. Panthers, by the way, I think they scored a field goal.
Okay. So garbage. As we expected.
They had a quarterback named Plummer. I don't even know who that is. And
all right. Jake?
Yeah.
Jake Plummer.
Back. Well, I was like, maybe it's a kid or something. I don't know. But they look just terrible. I mean, defense was okay at times, but they were just overshadowed by a Patriot team who isn't good, but they made the Panthers look terrible.
Yeah. That's where I go. I just cannot imagine playing for that organization.
Canales.
Yeah. Just not even him. I feel bad for Canales.
He looked so distraught and just
oh God, here we go. It's
why?
The whole thing is a mess. And I mean, we said it also on a previous pod. Dave Canales shouldn't have taken that job.
You made a mistake, Dave.
Yeah. You don't. That's not how you want to get your start in the NFL as a head coach.
Should have done at least one more year with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
It's called resume building.
That's right. Put in the time, Dave. All right. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead.
Quick headline. I'm going to read it because I made a note.
Yeah, please do.
Tell me how stupid this makes Aaron Rodgers and the Jets organization.
Okay.
I'm watching this preseason game, right? Enjoying it. And on the little ticker on the bottom.
Sure.
Aaron Rodgers didn't practice today due to weather. Are you kidding me?
Well, he might get wet or something. I don't know what would be the weather that causes you to not practice.
I don't know, man. It's just hey, I picture Aaron coming into the facility hey, Rob, man, it's gonna rain today, so I'm gonna have to sit this one out.
Hey, bro, you see the forecast? Because I don't play in that. Not in practice.
It's just so stupid.
That really is dumb. Okay, so my only hope of a benefit of the doubt is that, I mean, everyone knows that Aaron is great for headlines.
Yeah.
So maybe there was a lightning storm and the whole team didn't practice.
I think the whole team practiced.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, otherwise that is the most absurd headline.
It's insanity.
Ugh. I'm sorry, Jets fans. I really want this team to at least be mediocre.
The more that comes out, though, the worse I think their season's going to be. I had pretty high hopes, and just as camp goes on, I'm start at 10 wins, maybe now it's 9, 8. I don't even know if they're 8 now.
Ugh. Speaking of teams that I kind of feel that same way about, where the more I'm hearing, the worse it feels.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a big name, 49ers.
Yeah, I think they're going to be fine. They're a playoff team, but...
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think playoff for sure, but I don't think they're going to have the same season they had last year.
There's a lot of distraction with the Ayuk stuff, but then also, you were telling me someone got injured?
None other than Christian McCaffrey.
CMC dealing with, what was it, a leg injury?
This one's a leg one, and I don't remember exactly what, but... It's a leg injury.
Producer Knox, do you have any thoughts on Christian McCaffrey's leg injury?
Anything you want to say here?
Let me get closer to
Yeah, let's see. So CMC leg injury, what are your thoughts?
Well, a lot of people get injured in football, and that's why I don't want to play it. And he was just probably running, and there was a dog on the field, and he tripped over that dog.
Oh.
Yeah, so it is pretty known that
Kyle loves his dogs,
so that's probably what happened. And
yeah,
I think that's kind of a lapse in judgment from Kyle.
Yeah, Shanahan, get your dog off the field, man.
Yeah,
You're tripping your star player, you're causing injury.
I bet it's just like a precautionary thing. It might even, like, I've been hearing a lot of these guys getting veteran days and stuff.
Yes.
So maybe it's just a little bit of a noise and it's nothing.
I agree. I think that it's probably more overblown than anything else. Everyone's hurt all the time in football. So I'm sure there is probably some kind of injury, but I'm sure he can also play through it.
I'm a little injured. I have a slight headache.
Okay, well, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, but I'm playing through it.
Yeah, but we're always willing to. I'm sore. Yesterday I did a lot of yard work, and I feel very sore today.
And you're still showing up.
And you show up, you grind. That's what we do.
I play video games with a friend, Air Jordan in Tennessee, and we grind 99 is what we call it.
Okay,
with video games.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's a lifestyle is kind of what we're trying to get across here. What do you think about the whole Ayuk situation?
Dude, I kind of just want the 49ers to make it happen. Like, get rid of him. Like, you're done. Go wherever you want to go. We don't need you.
It kind of sounds like that's what they're trying to do.
But he's holding it up, right, Ayuk?
I think what's happening right now, this is my understanding of the situation. He requested a trade, obviously. Mm-hmm. The 49ers, which this to me doesn't make any sense, but they're going to try to make that happen for him.
Right.
Which they don't need to do. Like, he's under contract. They could just say, no, you're going to play with us this season. It's already past the draft, so anything they're getting back is actually not helpful to them.
Unless it's a player, which it probably won't be, right?
I would doubt it would be because, and this is, I think, what's holding up the trade, by this time of the offseason, preseason, the teams have their financial stuff set.
Right.
So all of that stuff with players, and unless it's a straight up trade for wide receivers, which seems like that wouldn't happen.
Well, some people are saying Amari Cooper for Ayuk.
And I mean, maybe, but it kind of seems like it would have to be that.
Yeah.
To make the most amount of sense. Otherwise, it's like, okay, a team's going to give up picks that aren't helpful to the 49ers until next year.
Right. And they're in very much a win now, so that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of all of this, Ayuk has some sign-off on wanting to go certain places. So that weighs into it too. So now you're looking for a team that has something to give up, has cap room to take on Ayuk, has, is good enough that Ayuk wants to go there.
Right. Which apparently the Patriots were like kind of ready to do it, and Ayuk's like, nah.
Yeah.
Not there.
So I've heard the Browns, I've heard the Steelers.
Yeah. That's about all I've heard.
Yeah. I haven't heard. I mean, there's the longest time he wanted to go to the Commanders.
Yeah, that got quiet.
That is quiet. I haven't heard anything about that. So, I don't know. It seems like a mess to me, kind of. And also, I don't know. If I were the 49ers, I would just say no.
But then, is it going to be a little attitude issue this year if he's there?
Probably, but that's the great thing about the 49ers is they don't really need him.
Yeah, there's whatever, man. Like we got.
If you want to ruin your own career, go ahead and do it. But we're fine, and you're under contract, so we would love for you to play. And if you don't want to, then I guess you're not going to make any money this year.
Yeah. It seems like kind of a messy situation that the 49ers are handling pretty well.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're making it known that this is an Ayuk thing. This is not a 49ers thing.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, it's wild to me, but I hope I wanted the 49ers to get one. And by that, I mean a Super Bowl.
A ring.
Get some rings. Get Kyle a ring.
And Lombardi.
And now it's kind of feeling less and less like that's maybe as likely. I'll say it that way. It's still possible. Yeah. It's just not as likely,
dude,
maybe.
Are they playing the Jets week 1? Does that sound right?
Oh, I don't even know.
I think they are, dude. I think they blow them out. I think a lot of this is just us thinking too much about it, and they're going to come back and just kick them in the teeth.
I think that's probably fair. It's I don't know. Preseason, we get jazzed up about a lot of things that don't end up being a thing at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here.
One quick thing.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about going to the Steelers, Pittsburgh?
Yeah. Let's talk Steelers.
Russell Wilson dealing with a calf injury.
Yep.
Do you think Like, is this Russell's biggest mistake, not just playing through something? Like, is Justin Fields going to beat him out?
100%.
I think so, too.
I think, so what it sounds like is that Russell went to the Steelers because they agreed it's your job unless you lose it.
Yeah.
And I think this is him actively losing it, because I think what's going to happen is you let, oh God, what's his name? What's the backup's name?
Justin Fields?
Thank you. You let Justin Fields get in there at practice, throw some balls, run around like crazy. I think the entire team's going to be like, why is this not our starter?
Yeah.
And they've already shown video of the team getting super excited about Justin Fields. You have, oh gosh, their new offensive coordinator, who was the Falcons. Arthur
Smith?
Smith, thank you.
He's a blank name to me.
Yeah, pretty much. Arthur Smith looks like he's like jumping out of his skin on the sidelines watching Justin Field. He's so excited about it.
I gotta look that up.
And it's just like, all right, well, Russell, you had your shot, and they're paying Justin Fields more.
Right.
Now, it's not very much more by NFL standards. They're both like kind of basically quarterbacks for free this year.
Russ is like, he's cashing checks. But here's my other question. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
If Russell Wilson loses this job, does Russell Wilson get another chance in the NFL? No,
absolutely not.
Just done, right?
I personally think he shouldn't have gotten this one. He's not, in my opinion, just not good enough anymore.
Yeah.
I know you like him. I don't. I'm just flabbergasted that they wanted to play him at all.
Yeah. Can we move on to another topic about another QB?
Yeah, I wanted to get you. What do you think about Russell?
Do you think he's kind of being a little baby? It's like, you're in the Steel City. This is tough people. This is like the blue collar workers that show up to work every day like us.
Yeah, like
despite
us.
What's going on. And you're gonna tell me you have a calf little boo boo and you're not gonna play in practice? Like, dude, you're messing up your own career.
And I think, okay, you might know this better than me, but in my head, I feel like I heard that he got it from pushing a lineman on a sled. Like something that is not. He was basically trying to show off that he can like still do stuff, and then he got hurt doing it.
That sounds right. Okay. I hate that.
It's just so embarrassing.
I hate that I like him, man. I hate that I like the guy.
You love him.
Oh, okay. So here's my other thing. I hear a lot of buzz about a quarterback.
Okay.
I'm trying to like do this in a way where you're gonna have to guess who this is.
Okay.
So he's been around the NFL for a while. He's had a couple shots, and now all of a sudden he's gonna be linked up with his coach, and he's gonna blow up. And it's like we're all finally gonna see what this guy is actually made of. Who am I talking about?
I'm working on it. I'm working through it.
Because I think this is all baloney. I think it's not gonna be this case. Brand new coach for this guy.
Yeah.
He's been on probably like 4 teams now.
Okay.
He's been in the league maybe 6 years or something like that.
Jeez, what? Oh, are we talking about? This isn't. You're talking Vikings?
Yes.
No way.
So there's so much buzz going on.
I know. Every offseason, everyone gets excited about Sam Darnold.
Yes.
And I don't know why people are giving this guy the benefit of the doubt still.
Well, it's like, first round pick. I think it was like top 3 or something. Yep. All the talent in the world. But you're telling me that the Jets, the Panthers, the
49ers.
like,
he was with Kyle Shanahan, and he looked fine, but he didn't look good.
No, I think it's one of those things where it's like, you get sucked into it, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, this is going to be the time. And then you take a step back.
Yeah.
You 30,000 feet view.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, we've seen this.
Yeah. This is, this is one where it's like, I just don't buy it. You kind of know what a guy is pretty soon into the league. Well, and especially, you can go, okay, they started in a bad situation. So, okay, great. So maybe if you get them in a good situation, they're good. But then the 49ers last year was about as good of a situation as one can be in.
But he only got like 1 game or something, right?
Yeah, but they saw what he was in practice. Like, Kyle knew what he had. So
good backup.
Yeah, great backup. He was great to a backup for Brock Purdy. Not even like a backup to Lamar. You know what I mean? Like he was
saying Lamar's the best quarterback in the league?
I'm just saying that Lamar has some tools that Brock does not have. And so, Brock is about as boilerplate of a QB as you get. Like,
so I've never heard that. Boilerplate?
Yeah, meaning like he's a standard QB. He's got all the normal things. He doesn't have any of the extra things.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we boilerplate podcast hosts?
No.
Top shelf?
Listen, we're beyond top shelf. I've never heard another NFL podcast where you're going to get ASMR content. Okay? This is only on the Tutty Buddy NFL show. So, things like that. Yeah,
well,
you got producer now.
Does anyone else have a producer that, this guy is immersed in the world?
Yeah. Listen,
I want to do podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to be here.
He wants to be here, and where else have you heard about the 49ers dog tripping scandal?
Okay.
So where else do you see a dog sitting?
Yeah.
Buddies.
Yeah, you like to bring up the fact that we were dog sitting that one day. I try to not talk about that because that feels unprofessional to me, but I like that you bring it up a lot.
Producer Knox even had a dog breathing on the podcast.
Yeah.
So that's pretty.
It's groundbreaking.
That's not boilerplate. That is not boilerplate.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this.
Yeah.
Why not just start JJ McCartney or McCarthy?
I like McCartney. Get the son of Paul McCartney onto the Vikings and let him cook.
Right? I mean, we've seen the Sam Darnold.
I agree. I think, listen, this is where I think I understand why everyone in the NFL is impatient and they want results right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there is something to be said for just kind of trusting the process, having some patience, letting a guy be bad for a little bit so he can learn.
Yeah.
Like I understand that everyone's on the team is probably not going to be super excited about that, but you got to get better. Like,
you don't have Patrick Mahomes. Like, you have Sam Darnold.
Exactly. Like, you're going to be bad either way, essentially. So, like, at least let's pick a bad where the guy gets better and maybe isn't bad at some point.
So, are you not gonna watch any preseason football, or is there any? Because here's the question.
Yeah.
Are there any teams that you're like, I just gotta kind of see what this looks like? And for me, I'll answer my question to you.
Yeah, I want you to.
Is the Chargers? I'm really excited to see like a Jim Harbaugh team again.
Yeah.
And I just thought about that last night. It's like, well, I don't like Herbert's hurt. Like, I don't want to watch. I was like, well, I want to see this team.
Yeah, that thought right there is the most excited I've been about preseason, but I still don't know if I will watch any other than like if there's absolutely nothing going on and there's nothing on, I might put it on in the background. I don't know. There's something about it because everyone's trying to like not show their hand in preseason.
Yeah, you're right.
So you also don't get to see exactly what the team looks like.
But here's something you do see. You see toughness. You see grit.
That's true. So I might watch some. I'm not planning on. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it.
Here we go. He's not going to move heaven and earth just to watch preseason football.
Just watch some preseason. Now, I did want to talk about the Chargers, as we always do. I mean, it's not really the Tutty Buddy NFL show if we don't talk some Chargers.
Yeah. So give it to me. What's going on?
First of all, just gut feeling. How do you feel about this injury
With Justin Herbert?
Yes.
I think it's fine.
Not a big deal, right?
Not a big deal.
A little injury to the plantar fascia.
So get this.
Yeah.
We're talking about the same guy that like threw passes with a broken rib.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be fine with a little whatever on his foot.
It made me feel a lot better because even when the day that the news came out, he did a full practice that day.
Right. Scored a rushing touchdown.
Yeah. And then just went into the trainer after and said, okay, they said, oh, you probably have an injury to this, a little slight injury.
Yeah.
Just take it easy. I think he's going to be fine. I'm not too worried about it. The other thing I want to talk Chargers with, and I shared this video with you because it was both Harbaugh brothers and kind of what they're doing at practice.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll just get it out of the way. I got to say it here. I have said some things about John Harbaugh previously. And I understand this is the Ravens head coach, not the Chargers. I just want to make it clear that I know who I'm talking about. I've said some things about John Harbaugh in the past.
Can I actually just do a quote?
Yeah.
John Harbaugh is just a glorified special teams coach.
Yeah, I did.
Quoted Nikolai.
Yeah, I said it. I said that, and I felt that way. I felt that was my truth at that time.
Right.
And I will say, saw a video of him at practice. Looked like a hot day. They had hoses and were basically doing some drill.
Fumble drills, probably?
Yeah, I think it was a fumble drill where they shoot you with hoses while you try to get the ball. And it was the whole team gathered around John doing the drill. He's a top 10 coach, folks.
Yes,
he's a top 10 in the league. Love the guy. You do that kind of thing and you're in for me.
Yeah.
And obviously that's combined with his great track record as a winning coach. Yeah, he's great.
But that stuff goes so far. Like,
I think it
just
does.
being with the guys and like being in there and just being kind of like crazy goes so far.
Yeah, I agree. It just makes what it does is it turns it from a job, which, yeah, I mean, we don't look at it this way because most of us, that like the NFL are like, oh, what a dream to play in the NFL.
Yeah, but it's a grind.
For the guys in it, it's a grind and it's your job. You go every day and, it's not super fun. Like you're hurt a lot of time and whatever. And it turns it fun. Mm-hmm. And for those of us who have a career type job, if you've been lucky enough to have fun at that job, that changes things quite a bit in your life. So that is a really big deal. And so John is doing a great job. Bravo, John. Jim doing the same thing. He's out there. I think he was doing a thing where he was pulling a rope with a player attached to a sled, and he was having to pull them. Yeah, and he was out there with the players doing it, and he was keeping up. He looked great.
So I'll take it even a little further. Yeah, talking about coach admiration.
Yeah,
Vrabel doing like races with what's his name?
Oh gosh, it was Jameis Winston. Yeah,
just out there with the guys. Like he looks.
He looks great. Great shape.
Yeah. Cleveland is so lucky to have him just be there.
Yeah. I think it's, I, in the past, have kind of made fun of, like, the vibes coach. Mm-hmm. And the coach that really, like, what do you actually do here other than, like, make people, feel better? Mm-hmm. But I think it's actually, I'm kind of turning around on it. I think it might be one of the biggest things that you can do as a coach.
It's got to be the right coach doing it, like it can be just terrible and like poorly done, but those three that we just said, those are the
you kind of have to have both, right? Because I mean, you could also end up in a Broncos situation from a couple years ago where you got Nate Hackett, and I think he was only a vibes guy. I'm unclear whether he even knows anything about football. But I think he just likes to make jokes about Austin Powers and things.
I got someone for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
It came out, I think, yesterday that Jalen Hurts can't be in the same room with Sirianni without it being super awkward. Like, he has no respect for Sirianni.
Yikes.
And that came out from ESPN.
Okay.
ESPN.
The one and only ESPN.
So why is that getting out right now? You think, and it, I mean, it's got to be some way true, right?
Yeah.
And we've talked about this. Like, we don't really know what Sirianni brings. And I think Jalen is like, yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I think what that reads to me is that someone in Jalen Hurts' circle leaked it.
Yeah.
And I think they're ready to be done with Sirianni. I mean, even like the OC and DC this year were picked by the front office, not by Sirianni.
That's really weird. I didn't know that.
Kind of just a figurehead now.
So if you're the owner or general manager owner, do you make a move? Like, what do you do? Like, this comes out. I mean, are you like, Jalen? Let me grab Jalen by the arm and tell him, like, hey, we're going to make this right. Or are you like, Sirianni, I believe in Sirianni. Like, sorry, Jalen, just deal with it.
I think what it really is they're like, I think they also understand that Sirianni doesn't really do much there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they are like, well, he's under contract. If we fire him, we still have to pay him. Might as well just keep him on staff, bring in the coaches we do want at OC and DC.
Yeah.
And just basically tell Jalen to ignore it until this contract's up, and then
so crazy.
He'll be gone. That's what I think. Unless and maybe if it gets worse, they'll be like, all right, go kick rocks, Sirianni. We'll bring in anyone.
Yeah.
Imagine if Vrabel got.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Like, why don't
or a Belichick, or a Vrabel.
There's options. That's why I'm thinking like maybe something will happen.
Yeah, and I think that's probably like a last resort for them. I think they want to see if just changing up the coordinators,
right, getting
is
Kellen
enough.
in there,
and then they can just say like, everyone, we understand Sirianni kind of sucks. Just ignore him.
It's so crappy.
Yeah, it's a really wild situation. And if you're Sirianni, like, I guess, you can't quit because you want to make the money. And it's kind of like, it reminds me of a Seinfeld episode where George gets a job and then under the pretenses that they think he's handicapped. Then they find out that he's not. And they're like, he's like, well, I'm under contract. And they're like, but you should quit. And he's like, no.
Yeah.
And he just goes to work every day and everyone's super mean to him.
Yeah.
It's basically just that in the Eagles facility.
That's a good parallel.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, that's what worries me about the Eagles. I think they're kind of a mess.
Yeah,
right now,
they're super talented, but they're a mess.
Yeah. So I'm very worried about what they're going to put forward this season. So
can you hit me with, on X, something that's going on in the NFL, and let's discuss. That'll be our closing remarks.
Yeah. Let me see here. Why don't you just kind of vamp for a minute while I pull up X?
All right. So producer Knox, where are you going today? You're going somewhere fun, right?
Yeah, I'm going to SeaWorld.
All right. Are you excited to see? What are you excited to see? The roller coasters or the animals?
Well, definitely the roller coasters.
Definitely the roller coaster. Dolphin show?
I don't like the shows very much.
All right.
But last time I was at SeaWorld, it was my very first time going on Emperor.
So explain to the fans what Emperor is, and to me, because I don't know what that is.
It's the ride where you go very, very far up.
Okay.
Very slowly, so it's scary. And then you stop, you turn around, and if you're in like the front or the middle seat, you hang off the edge.
I've seen this. That looks
and
crazy.
Then it's like 3, 2, 1, and it drops you, and then there's like 5 loops or something.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a football question. Who should start? Drake May, Jacoby Brissett, or Joe Milton?
Drake May, because he has Drake in his name, and I like Drake.
Okay.
Kendrick is better, though.
Who?
Kendrick Lamar.
Oh. Who should? Who's gonna win Coach of the Year? Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, or John Harbaugh?
The second one you said.
Jim Harbaugh?
Jim.
That's a good answer.
All right, I'm going to cut in here. And I'm going to bring it back here. I'm going to just tell you my favorite headline that I'm seeing on X.
Let's hear it.
This is a pretty fun one. There's a lot of noise, a lot of blah, 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 kind of garbage headlines that are like, okay, whatever, that's probably not a big deal. This one feels like a real fun one, though. Ezekiel Elliott's dad is being investigated for allegedly owning an escaped African wildcat that got shot.
It's still alive?
I don't know. That's to the headline. There's no link to click on here. Just a good, I don't know. That's just something. You know what? Now that I feel embarrassed. I said that. That's a headline from 2019.
Oh, well, you know what? Sometimes I ask you to do things and I expect you're going to do it right.
Yeah.
And this is one of them, and I'm a little bit let down.
And I do feel embarrassed about that.
It's okay.
But also, I don't feel that embarrassed. I like knowing that happened at some point.
That should have been a big story.
Yeah.
And maybe it was.
I hope it was a bigger story than I'm remembering it as.
It's crazy that 2019 was 5 years ago.
Yeah. I did want to kind of bring up one other thing.
Okay.
We talked about your trip to Tampa.
Yeah.
I want to talk
bleep that out. It was Orlando.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. He went to Orlando, Florida.
Thank you.
Earlier, I asked what team would they root for NFL wise.
And I said, I don't know. It's kind of in the middle of a bunch.
Demographically, I did some Googling, and apparently they would vote. They would root for Tampa, not vote, because that doesn't have anything to do with the NFL.
So Tampa Bay Buccaneers are Orlando's team.
So what I wanted to just touch on really quick, while you were there, I believe, maybe the weekend before, I was at San Diego Comic-Con International. Mm-hmm. I ran into some of my favorite podcasters that do kind of not a non-sports podcast.
Yeah.
And I ran into them and got to, shake their hand, say hi.
I heard that you got a very good compliment from them.
And that's kind of where I was headed with this. One of them, just off the top of I said, hey, his name's Matthew. Said, hey, Matthew, I'm a big fan of the show. Nice, great to meet you. You get to walk around. And the first thing out of his mouth, he said, wow, it's great to meet you. You have a really great voice.
That's really cool.
Meant a lot to me and still continues to mean a lot to me. And I just wanted to make sure you guys as listeners all can appreciate what you're getting. Because
this is rare.
Yeah, this is... he didn't say you have a nice voice. He didn't say you have a good voice. He said you have a great voice.
Wow. Nice to meet you. You have a great voice.
Yeah. He might have, I can't remember exactly. He might have said beautiful. It was one of those two, great or beautiful.
Wow.
And listen, this is a professional podcaster. This is a day job. So he knows what he's talking about.
I mean, is there any chance that you're going to abandon the Tutty Buddy Nation?
Okay.
Should I be worried?
So first of all, no, I would never do that.
Okay.
Second of all, hey, if they called, of course I'm going to go.
Yeah. And continue to do Tutty Buddy.
It's kind of a fun thing. I plan on talking about this off mic with you.
Yeah.
But what they do is they oftentimes, when they hear a show they do like, they have kind of a network of shows. And one of their shows, they do non-sports stuff, but they do a sports betting show.
Interesting.
And so, maybe
the door's open.
Maybe the door's open. Maybe we become a part of the network. I'm not going to mention their name yet. I was
going to say, you haven't mentioned it, and are we going to keep it under wraps?
We'll talk about it off mic, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
So, you never know what's going to happen down the road, but it's all out there. It's out in the universe.
Yeah.
The wheels are turning.
I am noticing a truck just drove by.
Okay. What kind?
The truck that you're looking for.
Big truck?
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for joining the Tutty Buddy Nation. Knox, can you wrap us up?
Yeah, great catching up with y'all. Here's Knox.
All right.
Okay.
Hold up close.
So, the outro today, I wasn't really thinking I was going to do an outro, so I don't know what I'm supposed to say, but I just thought of something. Go to SeaWorld. It is fun. And if you don't like scary rides, then you're a wimp. Watch football.
Wow. Controversial take.
Yeah, so SeaWorld is not officially endorsed by us, but the door's open, I think. I don't know if we align fundamentally with SeaWorld.
Yeah, it's kind of a tricky subject, but if
Blackfish or whatever?
Yeah, there's there's a lot of negative press there.
Yeah.
But also, if they were to kick us some cash, who knows?
I'm going to say this too. Go to the zoo.
Yeah, go to the zoo. Well, check out the San Diego Zoo. What a great place. There's no rides per se. Sky ride.
My daughter loves the Skyfari.
Yeah. I kind of, to be totally frank, I don't really enjoy theme parks of any type. I would rather do other things with my day.
How about we'll end with this? As Knox always says... Oh,
great.
So I accidentally muted the mic.
It's fine. It's fine. He said go touch grass.
I think I've been muted for a while, maybe.
Big whoop.
Whatever you hear, and watch football. Thanks for joining in. We'll see you guys next time.
Yep.